All right, everyone, welcome back into another props video. Going to be touching on the top prop bets for today on Thursday. Let's go ahead and get into it. But first, I did want to jump into a quick recap from yesterday. So yesterday, David Peterson's pitching fantasy score prop bet got bumped to 30 from the 27.5 in which he was for the bet of the day. So that was a little bit tilting. He did not end up hitting. That was the only bet that missed on the bet of the day yesterday. So extremely tilting that missed. If you guys were following along, he had like 3 at-bats where he went like 12 pitches deep, which he was ahead of the count and just could not punch out a strikeout. Eventually, that led to a couple of runs scoring. So it was a lot closer than it ended up seeing because probably ends up getting a quality start and a win if he gets one of those strikeouts, really. But kind of annoying when a prop like that gets bumped that much throughout the day. But we'll see. We might still be able to double up on that slip today as well. But I found that one interesting. And so today, kind of like yesterday, we have a little bit of a stacking opportunity with 2 of the prop bets that we are getting. So we got the New York Yankees here. Okay, so we got Nestor Cortez for over his pitching fantasy score of 25.5. Love this one today on paper. It is a huge edge. So not only is the average projection line at about 29.5. Love that. The DVP projections at about 25.81. So that's checking the box. Average sportsbook line would have it at 27.5 and would be favoring the over. And then we look at it as well, heavily favoring the over at that line. They're projected to win. The Yankees are. The only issue that we have is that it is projected to be a high scoring game, but that's also due to the fact that, well, the Yankees have been putting on a clinic recently. Aaron Judge, a big reason as to why that is, but we're going to see Juan Soto is actually going to be a player we can stack with that one, which I view as very nice. Obviously, if Juan Soto has a good day and some of the other players have a good day as well, but Juan Soto is the one that's projected to do the best. But if he has a good day, that increases the likelihood for Cortez to potentially get a win. So I do like stacking those 2 together. Like to see that. Another than that, one that we have today is going to be Lorenzen for over his pitching fantasy score. On Underdog, this is actually at 22.5. So on Underdog, that's actually going to be my favorite bet for the day. I would suggest using that one in some capacity if you guys are playing on Underdog. Again, if you guys are playing on Underdog, make sure to use this promo code 9to5 if you guys have never signed up before. But jumping back into those prize picks props, we have some other ones that are decent. Luis Castillo for over his pitching fantasy score of 37.5. Decent edge there. A slightly better one on Underdog as well, but that's a good one that we have. We have some other decent pitching props. This one's certainly interesting as well. Right before I started the video, Underdog bumped this one up, their lineup to 26.5. Okay, so the prize picks line is still set at 23.5. That's going to tell us instantly that we are getting an edge on prize picks. So I like that one. Probably needing to get a quality start. Their team is projected to win, kind of a lower scoring game as well. So that all bodes well for him getting his over. And I believe you also have a little bit of a stacking opportunity here with him where we could do Azuña for over his hitting fantasy score. Now it's only a 53% edge, but you could also pair that up potentially with Matt Olson for over his hits, runs, RBIs as well. So we kind of had 2 stacks that we can run out. You know, this Atlanta stack that we have, and then we could also potentially run out this New York stack as well, which I like that. And then you could also toss in Lorenzen for over his pitching fantasy score. That all seems like good prop bets that we are getting. WNBA wise today, I haven't even taken a look yet. We haven't been getting that many big edges, but we are getting one. Caitlin Clark for over, we're getting 4 actually. Caitlin Clark for over points and assists at 23. That's a good bet. Agumbawale for under her rebounds of 4.5. Kelsey Plum for over her assists of 4.5. And we also are getting McCowan for over rebounds of 8.5. Again, I typically don't like to put these on the bet of the day because chances are they're going to get bumped. I say that all the time. But if they are still there, these are going to be some of the best prop bets that we get throughout the day. So again, I typically don't like to include these on the bet of the day because they get bumped throughout the day, and I want this to reward the most people as much as possible throughout the day. But again, use these if they are still there. Maybe double check the cheat sheet to make sure that they're still good prop bets because odds change throughout the day, especially WNBA. But that's nice that we are getting 4 good prop bets so far. NBA wise, I don't think we're getting anything crazy just yet as well. Yeah, nothing crazy just yet for NBA. I'm wondering, do you guys think like Tatum's going to have a massive game in game 4? I could kind of see that happening just because he's kind of been getting dogged. At the same time, I don't think he really cares, which would probably be a good thing. Jumping into PGA as well. Obviously, the US Open is going on right now. Let's see here. So I don't want to touch the Scottie Scheffler one. Don't need to touch that one. Birdies are better. Under 3.5, I just don't feel the need to do that. He's the best player in the world. I do not want to attack that one. Tom Kim, if you want to run him for over 2.5, birdies are better. I actually don't mind that this course. There are scoring opportunities there. Hideki is actually someone I could see betting over 2.5 birdies or better as well. He's a player that's supposed to be a good option today. And then Tommy Fleetwood, you could potentially run for over 2.5 birdies or better as well. Now, I do want to touch on some of these stroke props that we are getting. Like Xander to be at 70 strokes is interesting, I would say. We pull up the leaderboard. We are going to see that there are a ton of players that are over par right now. But in terms of like the good golf plays on the board, they all seem to do pretty well. Like all the golfers that projected to play well are playing well thus far. Now that could change. A lot of these golfers are just making the turn on maybe only hole 13. So we do have to worry about that a little bit. Like they could be facing, some tougher holes coming in. That is a concern. But Xander Schauffele is the second best golfer in the world. If it weren't for Scotty Scheffler, people would be hyping up how well Xander has been played. So for him at 70, that's certainly interesting, I would say. I don't mind that under. Again, it is maybe playing a little bit more difficult than I would have, or a little bit easier than I think most people would have thought. So I don't mind that one there. Discrepancies wise on PrizePicks, nothing too crazy still. So, nothing too crazy to get into there. In terms of underdog MLB prop bets, Cole Irvin for under his pitching fantasy score, we can see he's projected to get a little bit of the over there. Not terrible though. Nestor Cortez, we're going to be running out on both sites. That's one that's popping up on both sites. Luis Castillo as well on both sites, like that one. Luis here for over his pitching fantasy score. Like we're getting a decent amount of good pitching fantasy score prop bets actually on underdog today. So if you are chasing MLB prop bets, probably the better option today is to go with underdog today. So definitely going to be giving you guys 2 bets of the day today. And with that, let's go ahead and get into those bets of the day. All right, so jumping into that underdog bet of the day today. And guys, it is an 8 slipper today. That is how many good prop bets we are getting on paper for underdog. And I'm kind of okay running this one out. I shouldn't say rushing. I do like the fact that we are gaining a little bit of correlation as well in terms of the good prop bets. Like if Cortez gets his over pitching fantasy score, that could mean that he's going to win. If he does get that win, that also means that Marsh is going to be less likely to get his over pitching fantasy score, not getting a win and whatnot. So like that aspect of it. You got Castillo going against the Chicago White Sox, which is a good thing. And then the rest of them are all just, pretty solid prop bets. Obviously, Corbin, Lorenzen, we're not expecting them to really crush it by much, but those are some of the good prop bets that are popping up. So we're going to go ahead and attack those. Fingers crossed, first time doing an 8 slip bet here. But the nice thing about this is this payout adjustment that we did. So I'm doing a $15 bet here. If it only gets 7 out of 8, which, that'd be pretty lucky still, we'll pay out 2.61. If you get 6 out of 8, 0.87. So still decent. You're still making up some of your money there if that hits. So, we'll see. We'll test it out for the first time. It is, again, just a reminder, it is a good opportunity to take advantage of the flexes on underdog right now with the 6 and 5 slip bets because of it paying out a little bit more right now in comparison to PrizePicks. And so looking at the PrizePicks by the day, again, going to be running more of that stack out there. Now, I do want to call it that these 2 prop bets for Atlanta only have a 53% edge. The reason why I'm using that on the bet of the day today is because I like the fact that we can pair it up with the pitching fantasy score prop bet. If you guys don't want to do that, you could just run out these top 2 prop bets as a 2 slip bet. Those are probably the 2 best bets that we have. And I mentioned this on Taco Tuesday. We got 2 really good prop bets that we were going to be attacking. That's kind of how I feel about these 2 prop bets as well. If you're only going with the 2 slip bet, those are the 2 that we're going with. But I like the fact that we have some stacking opportunity. We got Cortez and Soto for over their fantasy score, like that there. And then you could use Xander for his less than 70 strokes. That's more of a me bet. If that misses, I'll wear that. I'm kind of okay with that. We have other bets that we can use, but I'm already getting that exposure to some of those pitching fantasy score prop bets that were popping up. So to me, it's no need to double dip because I'm already taking advantage of slightly better lines on underdog with those, if that makes sense. But that's going to be all for today's video. Guys, tomorrow, I may or may not be coming out with a video. I hope to. We'll not be doing a video on Saturday, maybe on Sunday. We will see. But just a heads up for that if I do not have any content out for you guys. That's going to be all. If you guys want access to this cheat sheet, head on over to 9to5sports.com. It's going to be available for just $10 a month. Gives you access to the fantasy golf tools as well as all the PrizePicks tools. Head on over to the pricings and plan. Going to be available for just $10 a month. That is all for today's video. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, hit that thumbs up. Let's have a good day today. Leave a comment with your favorite play. And that's going to be all. As always, let's keep cashing.